Hello, I'm Jennifer Lisanti, the Director of Sales at Beere&Purves. Thank you very much for participating in today's webinar on Anthem and UnitedHealthcare level-funded products. A few housekeeping items before we get started. Everyone is on mute and off video, so you don't have to worry. We do welcome questions. Just type them in during the presentation. I will review them at the end. It is only scheduled for 30 minutes, so if we run out of time, we'll just circle back to you directly. And of course, you can always reach out to the Beere&P sales team or myself. And lastly, we will be sending out a copy of the deck and a copy of today's recording. So having said that, we'll go and get started. So this is an introduction to the level funded products with Anthem and UnitedHealthcare. And I first want to state that these are not new products to either Anthem or UnitedHealthcare. They're just new to the California marketplace for both. And the reason for that is back when they were ready to launch them in about 2014 in the state of California, along with the rest of the nation, there was California legislation that was passed that set the dollar amounts that were required in the state of California to the point that the carriers couldn't provide good premiums for the required amounts that the state specifically needed. However, 7 years down the road, ACA premiums have increased along the way, and now both Anthem and UnitedHealthcare feel that they could bring them to the California market, which is great too, because they have 7 years of experience throughout the rest of the nation with these products. So we're not the guinea pigs, which is always nice. All right, today's agenda, we'll go over just real quickly basics of level funded in general, the available plan designs, some quoting information, underwriting information, and submission timeframes. So what is level funding? First of all, level funding is a great combination in between fully insured that we're used to in the ACA marketplace and fully self-insured. It's a combination of the best of both worlds. But why are groups interested in it? So this slide talks about how we all know with small group ACA that we have these metallic plan designs and everything is kind of cookie cutter and there's not a lot of creativity that the carriers have. And as time's gone along, the out-of-pocket maximums on ACA small group plans have gotten very high. So a huge benefit to look at level funding products for your small group clients is the availability for richer plan designs, especially lower out-of-pocket maxes, which we'll talk about. Second huge benefit to level funding is you can provide composite rates to your small group clients, which no one likes community rates, the age-banded rates. Everyone would love to have composite rates. It makes it much easier for payroll, et cetera. And so this is a way to bring composite rates to your small group clients. And then, of course, the big concept of level funding is the group is healthy, they can actually share in premium savings at the end of the year with the carrier versus having to pay those fixed costs. And if the group does run well, they never get to see any of the money back. With level funding, it allows you to have the potential to get some claims dollars back if your group runs well. However, that all sounds great, you know, richer plan designs, lower out-of-pocket maxes, composite rates, ability to possibly get some money back if they run well. It isn't a good group. It isn't a good product for every group, rather. And the ones you should consider are groups that are maybe have been large group that are now smaller because of COVID. And so now they fall into the small group bucket, but they really don't like small group age-banded rates and the plan designs being offered. Groups that may be leaving an association or trust or PEO. Again, those are the groups that are used to the large group marketplace. If the group is healthier and younger, clearly there's a big benefit to moving them to level funding just because of the ability to possibly get claims dollars back. And then, of course, as I've said, the group that wants platinum and gold type plans with richer out-of-pocket maxes. The group should be heavy on the PPO side, which we'll talk more about in a little bit, but definitely PPO-only plan designs are available in the level funded products. There's some caveats with UHC. And then groups that are sophisticated, that think they can handle this product, that are interested in getting reporting, transparency about their employees, their claim status specifically, et cetera. So that's kind of why you'd bring level funded to a small group client. Now, how it works. So with level funding, what you do is what we're used to in the ACA world is that you have one set premium for everything. With level funding, it breaks out the premium dollars into the set admin services fees, the cost just to run the plan, including your commissions, a claims liability funding, and then a stop loss insurance premium, individual and aggregate. So this is, for example, an Anthem ABF bill for the month, and you can see there's 5 categories that bring up the total premium for that group. The admin fees, the aggregate stop loss, the monthly claim fund, the claim runout, the specific stop loss, meaning individual stop loss, etc. So you can see how the premium dollars for this group are broken out amongst those 5 items. Then if you want to see it at the employee level, here it is. This is, again, they're getting composite rates, not age-banded rates, employee only, etc. And then you can see here's the admin fee, the individual stop loss, aggregate stop loss, the claims amounts that they're projecting, and then the runout amount. Okay, so this is how level funding really works. So think of it the traditional funded that we're all used to in the ACA market. You've got your premium dollars that are fixed every month, whether the group runs well or not. They know they're going to pay X amount for their medical insurance. Within that premium, you've got your admin fees and your claim. Level funding, however, what you do is you still have your admin fees. Then you've got your stop loss insurance. Make sure you still have that protection. That's why you're buying medical insurance. And then they estimate claims right here. And with a level funded client, if the claims come in lower than they estimated, the group can get some money back. So for example, here. So they estimated over here, the claims actually were over this smaller orange section, actual claims. Therefore, the group can get 50% of the surplus back at the end of the year on a level funded product, obviously not fully insured. And the nice thing with level funding specifically is, unlike self-insured, you don't have to worry about, well, what happens if we run poorly and we go over the estimated claims amount, because in this example, you'll see same thing, admin fees, stop loss insurance, the actual claims, and unfortunately this group exceeded the actual claims, so they went over the amount. The insurance company will write off this deficit and the group is not responsible. So level funding is the best of both worlds. If you run well, claims are less than they anticipated, you can share in a surplus. And if you run poorly, there's no consequence. The insurance company will pay for it. It's a deficit written off to the group. All right, so now we're diving into Anthem's ABF product. ABF stands for Anthem Balanced Funding. They have a canned contract. So the standard terms with Anthem specifically are $100,000 for the individual stop loss, 120% for the aggregate stop loss, and they have a 12-12 coverage period. I'm going to stop there real quick. So what this means is if you move a group to Anthem's ABF in January of 2022, all the claims that are incurred in 2022 will be paid, and they have a 3-month run out into 2023. So if the group is still insured with Anthem 15 months after the original effective date and they ran well and there is a surplus, they've given 3 months for claims to come in for that previous year, then they'll give 50% of the surplus back to the group. And how Anthem does it is they do it as a premium credit on their monthly bill. So they will see this into about 4 months into the following year. Anthem retains 50% and the group gets 50%, very common. If the claims exceed the paid claims fund, as I said, there's a deficit written off with level funding. So it's the best of both worlds. Now, if the group does cancel ABF and goes to Blue Shield or United or Cigna, etc., then if the group did run well the previous year and there's a surplus, that group actually doesn't get that surplus. Anthem's going to retain it to pay out additional claims once a group is left. However, if the group tries Anthem Balanced Funding and for some reason it doesn't work for them and they want to move to ACA age-banded products, or maybe they've grown and now they're going to move to Anthem Large Group, then if there's a surplus that last year within ABF, they will get their surplus back because they stayed within the Anthem system. And then here's a quick stat. As I indicated, these products are not new for Anthem or UnitedHealthcare. One stat Anthem's shared is, for example, in the state of Connecticut, 9 out of 10 of their ABF groups actually received a surplus. So that's great stats. Now moving on to UHC level funded, how it works. Their terms are a little different. So you can see the individual stop loss, the group can actually choose between a $75,000 minimum to $100,000 maximum in the state of California. Their aggregate stop loss is 125%. 120% is required by the state of California. UHC is going to do 125% here. Their stop loss period is a 1260 contract. So what that means, it's a little different from how Anthem's works. Same thing, if you move a group to UHC in January 2022, those claims for that 12 months within 2022 are going to be paid, but there's a run out period with UHC of 60 months, 60. And so if the group ran well and there's a surplus, so say the group, there's anticipated claims of 100,000, claims were only 90,000, so there's a $10,000 surplus amount. What UHC is going to do is they're going to keep an IBNR customer reserve of that 10,000, call it say $2,000. So subtract the 2 from the 10, there's 8,000 left. UHC will keep 4,000 and the group gets 4,000 of that surplus. The remaining $2,000 that UHC puts in a fiduciary account for that group in case there's additional claims up to 60 months later sits there. If there's money at month 60, the group would receive that back even if they've left UHC. And if there's no money left, again, it's level funded, so there's no problem. The group doesn't have to come up with anything. Now, UHC is a little different than how Anthem works in the sense that UHC is going to wait and see if there's a surplus. They'll calculate that by month 15. And then if there's a surplus, say that $4,000 in our example, they will get actually a live check back to the group. Anthem was doing a premium credit with the surplus. UHC is going to give a live check. A stat that UHC's provided is about almost 40% of their groups received a surplus, and of the surplus, it averaged about $9,000 back to the group. So here's some more nitty-gritty on the eligibility and comparing the two carriers, Anthem versus UnitedHealthcare. So you'll see the first one is probably the biggest difference in the sense that Anthem this is a small group product. They're going to sell it to groups of 20 to 100 eligible, but Anthem requires 20 enrolled on Anthem ABF, max to 100 eligible. UHC, they're going to start at 10 eligible with this product and go up to 100 just like Anthem. So UHC is a little lower than Anthem. Everyone, or both of them rather, want 50% of the employee rate to be part of the contributions. But the participation with Anthem is just like Anthem Large Group if you're familiar with it. So what they want to do is you take those 100 eligibles, subtract out any waivers, and they want 75% of the rest, or 50% of the total eligibles must enroll if you don't take out the waivers. And both of those have to be met. UHC wants 50% of the group to participate. Now, this is level funded, it's for small group clients. However, it is like large group and it is medically underwritten for both, which I'll spend some time on in a second on. With Anthem, the group, there's some flexibility with groups that are getting more employees outside of the state of California in. This is matching their current Anthem small group rule that they just announced. You can write groups with Anthem in either ACA or ABF, level funded, if the group is headquartered in the state of California, and the majority of the employees that are eligible are in California, but it doesn't have to be 51%, which is nice. So if you've got a 100 life group and you've got 40 in California and the other 60 spread out across the US, since you have 40% of the group, which is the greatest percentage in my example, in California, Anthem would still write that on Anthem, ACA, or level funded. UHC has always been great with their out-of-state rules. So UHC can sell this product throughout the US. They've been doing it for a while now. We just haven't been selling it here. And what they do is they determine the state they're going to write the policy out of based on where the majority are enrolling. So be aware that if the majority of the enrolling are in, say, Texas at this point, we can write it out of UHC, out of Texas, but the aggregate and the individual stop loss may vary because we don't have those Texas probably doesn't have the same requirements that the state of California has. A big difference between the two are whether or not you can sell Kaiser alongside the level funded products. And this is a little tricky. I'm going to start with Anthem. So Anthem says that they will consider writing Anthem ABF level funded alongside Kaiser, assuming Anthem's getting the majority of the employees. However, please be aware, Kaiser does not want to be written alongside composite rates. So if you were going to put Kaiser alongside Anthem ABF, it would have to be composite rated Kaiser rates. So that's a little tricky. So I just want to call that to everyone's attention. Again, Anthem's okay with it, but Kaiser is not. Now, UnitedHealthcare says they do not or can't write this product alongside Kaiser. So here, UHC and Kaiser both agree, no go with Kaiser alongside the UHC level funded, even though UHC ACA, small group, is very lenient alongside Kaiser. This is a different product. All right, so as I said, a big benefit of selling level funded is the plan design. So Anthem, get only PPO plans. It is a large full network prudent buyer PPOs available. You can sell up to 3 plans, typically 2 PPOs, 1 HSA, but we can have a conversation on that. Out-of-pocket maximums, again, a huge benefit with level funding. If you see out-of-pocket maximums on the traditional Anthem PPO plans start at $3,600 and go to only $7,000. I mean, currently, what are we at with the ACA market? Like the minimum is like $8,000 up to $12,000, et cetera. On HSA plans, you can get a $4,000 out-of-pocket maximums. And these are not deductibles, these are actually out-of-pocket maximums. So that's what we mean when we say you can get richer plan designs with the level funded portfolios, because they're not restricted to those metallic tierings and those ABs. Anthem's level funded product does use a different RX formulary than the normal Anthem small group ACA plans you're used to. Small group uses a select drug list. This Anthem level funded product uses the essential drug list. Frankly, they're pretty similar, but the essential is smaller than the Anthem's large national drug list they use in large group. So it's a little smaller, but probably closer to the select that you're used to in small group. One unique thing that Anthem's doing is they're saying, yes, the level funded products are only PPO plan designs, but if you have a group that wants an HMO plan, you can actually put Anthem's ACA HMO age-banded plan designs alongside the Anthem PPO level funded plans. Now, that would require the group to have 2 bills per month. You know, it's 2 enrollment processes, et cetera, because you're putting the HMO people on Anthem ACA age-banded for the portfolio, and then you're writing the Anthem level funded PPO plans, but they're allowing that to happen. Skipping over to UnitedHealthcare. UnitedHealthcare does have different plan designs outside the PPO, but I think if you're selling this product in California, you're probably going to stick with the PPO. Very large networks, you actually get more networks than you're used to with UHC ACA plans. They do have EPOs and a gatekeeper EPO as well, though, available if you're interested. You can offer as many plans as you'd like, but we really need to know which employees are enrolling in what plans, because the price of premiums are going to be based on the actual enrollment by the plans. UHC is allowing multiple networks. As I said, they're going to have more networks available in this level funded product than you're probably used to, at least in California. So they'll allow multiple provider systems, but only one formulary. So there's a choice between either the Advantage formulary or the Essential formulary. You can pick one or the other, but not both to offer to one group. But back to the key selling point of these out-of-pocket maximums with UHC, you can see the PPOs starts at $4,000, only goes up to $8,150 for an individual out-of-pocket maximum. HSA out-of-pocket maximums are $3,000 to $7,000, and then they have some primary focus plans, which is $8,150. So this is a lot of information. We'll be sharing this deck with everyone afterwards, but just so you can see, again, here's the deductibles across the top, anywhere from 0 deductible to $2,500 for the Anthem PPO plan designs, and out-of-pocket maximums, as I said, start at $3,600 up to $7,000, so pretty low compared to what you're used to in small group. The HSAs, you can have a deductible of $2,800, which is embedded, or $2,000, which is an aggregate deductible. And then the out-of-pocket max on both plans is $4,000. Here is an example of the UHC plan designs that are allowed. So again, ranging deductibles from 0 to 8,000, but focusing in on those individual out-of-pocket maximums from 4,000 to 8,100. I want to point out here the available networks and just mention in California for the PPO plan designs here, we always sell, there's just Select Plus and then a narrow core network. So what you're going to see different here with UHC level funded is they have a third PPO network. It's Choice Plus. Choice Plus is actually UHC's national PPO network. However, for UHC in small group and level funded, you're still probably going to sell the Select Plus PPO network because in California, it's actually very large and it's priced a little better than the Choice Plus national PPO network. So a little tidbit there. And then they do have EPO plans and those Navigate EPO plans that they do as well already in small group. More plan designs available up at UHC, and they're rolling out their marketing material for the level funded. So I think they're going to have a more kind of better visual on which plan designs are being offered. All right, census requirements. So just to back up a second, we've been talking, and you're basically offering a large group product down to small groups, either down to 20 enrolled with Anthem or UHC is at 10 eligible. When you're quoting, you have to put your large group hat on and realize that unlike small group where we can produce a quote in 10 minutes or less, this is going to be more like large group where the quoting is going to just tell yourself 5 to 7 days and it could take longer based on volumes. So with Anthem and UHC, you'll see that the census requirements for both are the same. We literally need names, genders, date of birth, and zip codes for employees and dependents. If you can get social security numbers up front with United, it would be recommended, not required. But what's happening when we quote these groups is both Anthem and UHC, just like Cigna level funded, just like Aetna large group, HealthNet large group, et cetera, they run the employee or the member level census into a database. It's a Milliman database. They all kind of use different versions of it, but they're running it through, seeing which prescriptions are used by the members, and then they're determining predicted claims based on that usage of prescription drugs. And then they're determining the premiums. So that's why we have to have literally the names, genders, dates of birth, et cetera, for the all employees and dependents to quote these groups. And again, allow more like 5 days versus 10 minutes for these quotes to be done. UHC has a program where you can go in and do what they call a quote unquote quick quote. It is not being medically underwritten at all, and I highly recommend never running a UHC quick quote for this UHC level funded product. You're probably just sending an RFP over to us and we'll take care of it for you anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. But just want to call that out. That's just kind of like a base level quote. They're not running those censuses through the Milliman system that I mentioned, and so there's no medical underwriting going down. You're just going to get some base premiums that will drastically change once they actually run it through the system. So don't do that, please. All right, processing time, like I said, you have to put your large group hat on for these level funded products, even though you're selling them to small groups. One thing you need to know is if you are not already appointed with Anthem Large Group, you do need to get appointed with Anthem Large Group to sell this small group Anthem ABF level funded product. The lead time when you sell an Anthem case, they're saying that 3 to 60 days. The actual enrollment can take 14 days. So just be aware, again, very similar to large group. UnitedHealthcare also requires appointments, different than their UHC small group appointment that you probably already have. They have a product, it's called All Savers behind the scenes, and so you need to be appointed with All Savers. We have those links that we've already sent out, but we can provide to you again. And there's an agency appointment and a producer appointment to be aware of. Initially, they were saying you needed to put any GA you wanted to work on that. In California, they backed off and kind of grandfathering Beere&Purves on there. So you don't necessarily have to list us on there, but feel free to do so if you like. For UHC, again, as I mentioned, it's going to be like a 5-day turnaround for quotes, so be aware of that. And then once you sell the case, it'll be 5 days for an approval and another 5 days for installation. Again, very different from the 1 to 2 days it takes right now for us to get a UHC small group written and approved and eligibility in. Same with Anthem. We approve Anthem small groups in literally hours. So this is large group processing. All right, commissions. So with commissions, they're most likely going to be paid at a fee per employee per month. And I hesitate there because I just heard from Anthem yesterday that they're deciding they may do a percentage or the PEPM, so be aware. But one way or the other, whatever Anthem does, they're going to have it equate to your current small group commission level of 5%. UHC is definitely doing a PEPM. You can make it to whatever you want it to be. Just be aware that you and the group sign off on it, and of course, it would affect premium. So if you want more than 5%, feel free as long as the group agrees to it, but your premiums will be higher as a result, or vice versa, you can go lower. So since it's paid at a per employee per month, it depends on the premium as far as what 5% will be. If we looked at we looked at PPO small group premiums in the Bay Area, and our average per employee per month is about $1,100 right now. So $50 to $55 would equate to about that 5%, but again, it's flexible with UHC. And we'll get back to you on whether Anthem decides to do the PEPM or just a percentage that you're used to. All right, a couple things just UHC mentioned I'll throw out there. UHC, actually ACA and level funded, you'll see on the employer application, they asked, do you want to do a calendar year or plan year? We always recommend a calendar year. And the reason is if you do a plan year, so the groups can start 9/1, deductibles start over every year in September, not January that you're used to. And that means when you move it from Cigna level funded over to UHC level funded for September, then the group would not be getting deductible credit for anything they've incurred from January through August of that year. So that's why we say just stick with the calendar year plan year, calendar year. UHC also called out that they don't have to do the 60-day trigger open enrollment timeframes. So that just means that if someone gets married, has a baby, etc., you need to get things in back to the traditional 31 days we were used to prior to ACA, which has become 60 days. Always better to do sooner rather than later anyway. If the group is going to term UHC, you need to give them 10 business days advance notice so they can process that so they don't pay the claims. Since UHC is starting at 10 eligible, some groups may be CalCOBRA eligible, which does not apply to the level funded. It's not going to be processed by UHC. UHC California has agreed to, if you currently have CalCOBRA members, they will enroll them, but you couldn't put new CalCOBRA members on the UHC level funded product. So something to be aware of. And as I've already mentioned, never run that quick quote. All right, guys, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little long on time here. Level funding is all about reporting, and ABF, Anthem, and UHC both have great reports, and it really helps the group get a feel for their claims on a monthly basis, if they think they'll be getting a surplus, kind of the utilization with the group, etc. So that's kind of the Anthem one reporting. This is just a quick mention of UHC's reporting. The reporting is key to the level funded product, and that's why sophisticated groups want to go here to get this information. All right, Anthem Balance Funding, if you sell ancillary lines alongside Anthem Balance Funding, there's a big potential to get a very large admin credit put on the premiums like about 90 days into the effective date. So what happens here is you can see, depending on the number of subscribers and the number of lines of ancillary that you sell, you can get up to, the group rather, can get up to $16,000 as a premium credit on, say, their third bill with the Anthem Balance Funding. So that goes a long way to help them pay for their employee benefits program. UHC does something similar. This is kind of similar to what they do in small group already. You sell UHC ancillary alongside level funded. They too have admin credits. This is on a monthly basis on the bill versus that lump sum that Anthem is doing that I just mentioned. So if you sell dental, life, vision, and UHC level funded, each employee can get $6 off every month of their premiums. As you know, Anthem has a lot of great tools, a lot of them listed here. They've added EAP into the ABF program for 2021, so be aware of that. And then last thing I'll really cover today is UHC level funded products have 4 great tools. You're probably used to some of these already in small group and large group UHC. Rally is a program where if you do hit certain criteria, you can earn dollars. Healthiest You are virtual visits. These are free virtual visits. We all know how telehealth is kind of taken over and is probably here to stay. This is a great way to go to the doctor when you don't need to actually have a physical exam. And why the level funded groups would like to do this or encourage this amongst their member base is that when they do have virtual visits, these claims don't go against their claim amount for the level funded. So it wouldn't count towards ever claims UHC is anticipating paying for this group. And also, any dependents not enrolled with UHC can still take advantage of these $0 virtual visits. So that's very nice. UHC Motion gets a lot of attention. This is available with UHC ACA products, but only on the HSA plan. With UHC level funded, they're bringing this to all the PPO and HSA plan designs. And this is that program that we've been talking about for a while, where if the adult members in the group hit certain fitness criteria, certain amount of steps, frequency throughout the day, intensity levels, each adult can earn up to $3 a day all year long. That can get up to $1,095 that each adult member that hits those criteria back into either like a debit card that they can use, or they can use it toward their HSA deductible if they're on an HSA plan. But again, this Motion program is now on all plans within UHC level funded. And the real appeal is also in UHC small group, but this is a personalized white program. So they send you a scale, a blender, things like that, and a coach to help you. All right, so this is the last slide, just a reminder of Anthem's and UHC's, is here. We're available to quote now. Please send it our way. We can help with any sales strategy, just like usual. I know we're all heading into fourth quarter. This applies not only to level funded, of course, but all of our employee benefits from 1 to 300, because we are doing large group as well. So don't be shy. Let us know if you need help with any sales strategy. If you have any questions on the level funded products, we can certainly help you do enrollment meetings, virtual or in person. And we have Spanish Enroller. We've also hired different languages. We have online enrollment through EASE, which will help support on your side. We've got a great reputation for getting our groups approved quickly and accurately. We can provide ongoing maintenance through EASE. Renewal support, help with any billing, eligibility questions. As you guys know, we're always here to help you and good partners. So don't be shy. Let us help you make your fourth quarter as smooth as possible, whether or not you're including the level funded products. So I went about 4 minutes over. I will check the questions real quick. I appreciate your participation today. There are some questions, but I might just circle back with you directly, but we will not leave you high and dry. We will address them, okay? One quick question I see is, why is the Anthem contract listed as 12/12 and not a 12/15? The contract is a 12/12, but they have that 90-day run-out period for claims to come in. So kind of like a, I think you could probably see it either way, but they're adamant the contract is 12/12, but they've got a 90-day run-out. So technically, maybe not technically, but in reality, it's a 12/15 contract. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time. We will again send a copy of this recording and the deck out to everyone, but let us know if you have any questions. And I hope everyone's doing okay, hanging in there, and appreciate your partnership. Take care.